Standard 12th Computer Studies for Science and Common Stream students. For all computer studies related updates, please visit my website. That website is computerstudieskedardave.wordpress.com. Computer studies related theory as well as practical related videos are available in my YouTube channel, that is youtube.com/c/kedardave. In this session, we discuss chapter number 13. It is other useful free tools and services related with the Ubuntu operating system. So, it's chapter number 13, Ubuntu other useful free tools and services. It is a theory chapter, right? And 5 marks multiple choice questions comes in the board exam. So, let's start chapter number 13. So, first of all, this chapter deals with the brief introductions. I will give you brief introductions about this chapter number 13. Right, first topic it is the data compression technique. Second number it is archive manager tool. Third one it is video LAN client. It is VLC player. After that, fourth one it is Google Maps online services. Fifth topic it is character map. Sixth number, overview of R environmental software for statistical computing. Seventh number, it is rational plan. And last point, it is Skype. First of all, chapter number 13, point number 1, it is data compression technique. So, in the modern computer systems, the lakhs of files are there in the computer, right? So, all types of files and data are available in the computer system related with the images, videos, text, and in other format, right? So, often one needs to transfer the large number of files, right, or the entire directory structures to the another computer or another storage devices like the pen drive or external hard drive, right? Or if you want to transfer the files into the one PC to another one, right? So uh, transferring the file, it is a concern, right? So that when we want to transfer the computer files, it's containing the data or the programs and the data or the softwares to another computer or the storage devices, the amount of data to be transferred or storage stored, it becomes a concern, right? So we use this data compression technique. So both the computer networks and the external storage devices are usually not as fast as internal components of the computer like our hard drives, right? So the transferring the large amount of data may takes more time, and if the internet is used for such transfers, right, more times may be take in the transfer due to the slow internet speed. So such transfers put loads on the usually clog the internet connection, right? So unless the users or the organizations had unlimited internet plan, so that higher amount of data may result the higher cost as well, right? So the computer scientists have developed this technique, that is to place the whole directory structures into the file for convenience, so that such file is called archive. And they have also developed a number of techniques for the reducing the storage requirements of the computer files and the different directory structures. So this technique are called the data compression technique. So data compression generally works as by identifying the repetitions in the data and encoding the data in the way that reduce or eliminates the such repetitions, right? So such technique also identify the eliminate less important informations to conserve space. For example, the one example is given here, right? So this is the original data, right, and this is the compressed data. So if the red colors are used two times, so instead of the two times occupying the space, it will just write the two in the by the data compression technique. Here the one another example is given, right? So 8 times a is written, right? So it occupy 8 times. Instead of that, the data compression technique through just written that a 8 times, b 6 times, and c 2 times, right? So this way it will encode the data, right, and compress the data by using the data compression technique, right? So this is the one another example. It is related with the data compressions. This is the actual content. The number of words are repeated, so that repeated words are combined, and it will reduce the size of the file, right? So this is the actual content, and this is the encoded content. So while the size of original file was the 324 bytes, this is the one example. The size of encoded file is just 226 bytes. Right? So when you compress a file, so this is because the each word is used in its full form only once. Right? So subsequently it is represented by the single character, as we discuss in this by using the graph we discuss it, right? So that point it is given here, and the encoded file can be transferred into the original file at any time using the reverse process, that is called the decoding process. Okay, so this is about the data compression technique. And then the second point, it is archive manager. It is permits us to combine many files or the entire directory tree into a single file, that is known as archive. So on the Linux systems, the tar or the temp archiver, it is the most common archive format, right? So it is by default available and pre-install available when you install op operating system Ubuntu. Okay, so it also provides the facility of compressing the archive to reduce its file size and support the multiple compressions algorithms and compress the file formats, right? So different files are there, so that is compressed by the archive manager, and it will reduce the size, right? So most common compressed file format are the zip file format and rar file format, it is in the Windows, and tarzz in the Ubuntu based operating system, right? So these are the most common file formats related with the archive manager. So this is the one example, and archive manager example, it is available in the Ubuntu operating system. You compress the size by using this archive manager tool. And this is the one another example. This is the latest version of the archive manager. Different companies prepare the archive tool, right, for reducing the file size. Okay, after that, the point number 3, it is the video LAN client multimedia player in the Ubuntu operating system. It's come with the built-in tool, right, and to play the multimedia contents like audios, videos, right, and it is very popular for the all devices like the laptop, desktop, Android phones, iPhone, right. It is available in the uh, Android also, right? Android and iPhone, right? So you just use video LAN client VLC, right? Just find from the Google. You easily download it, right? And free of cost available, right? From the site. Uh, for the different devices, the VLC is available. Okay, it is extremely popular, right? Because it is versatility and the different features. Updates are available regularly, right? So this is the VLC media player, right? And this is the person, the creator of the VLC video LAN client media player, right? And These are the different photographs of the video line client, media player, president of VLC, Jeans Baptiste Kemp. After that, fourth one, it is very easy and regularly we use this feature, right, by using our Android phone, right? That is Google Maps. That is completely free and internet-based services given by the Google company, and it has over the a period of years collected the extensive map data for the whole Earth through the various means like the satellite imagery, cars with the camera mounted on them. After that, data purchased from the different organizations, right, from the state governments or the central government, right, and data provided by the millions of individuals like you and me, right, the individual users around the world. They give the data, right, through the Google Maps, right. So Google Maps allows anybody to edit the maps and identify the landmarks, buildings, restaurants, hospitals, shop, and different others. Okay, so it is also allows the users to upload the photographs on the place and post the reviews on that particular place. So this is the one example of the Google Map services, right? Okay, after that fifth number, it is the character map. It is usually included with the Microsoft Windows operating system, and it is used to view the characters in any installed fonts to check what keyboard input is used to enter those characters and to copy the characters to the clipboard. Generally, some characters are not given, special characters are not given on the keyboard, right? So if you want that particular character, then we use this character map. So this way you open it, right, go to the start and then go to the system tools and then click on the character map, right? So it will display like this is the character map, right? So you just select the, for example, sigma sign, click on the sigma sign and copy and paste it into your document. So this is about the character map. Next one, it is the R software. Again, this software is completely free, right, and it is specially used for the statistical computing, right, and it is a GNU project and it is widely used for the statistical analysis, right. It is very useful for the statistical calculations. The second one, right, it is not free but it is very popular, that is the Microsoft Excel. It is also for the statistical analysis, right. So you can analyze the data by using that Microsoft Excel, right. But here the free software is available in the Ubuntu operating system, right, and it has its own scripting languages, right, and it is a case sensitive language. R has the two work environment, right. Two work environments are given by the R software, right, for the statistical analysis. First one, it is the graphical user interface GUI, and the second one, it is the command line. After it is used in the GNU environment, and we need to install graphic editors like the R Commander or R Studio from the Ubuntu Software Center, and all types of softwares, free softwares available according to the rating based softwares are available, and completely free softwares available in this Ubuntu Software Center, right. It is similar to our Android Play Store, right. So the command to install R is given at the end of this chapter, right, and the different commands are given. It is very easy to use this R software for the statistical calculation. Okay, so to invoke this R script from the terminal window, first of all you have to open the terminal window, right, in the CLI and type R on the command prompt and start writing the commands, and it will execute the your commands, right, if you use the CLI screen of R software, right? And you get it from the Ubuntu Software Center. Okay, after that, the how to plot in the R software. Let's assume that we want to plot a bar chart that it is represent the faculty wise students in the university, right? So this is the plotting graph in the R. First of all, you have to open it, that R software, by using the directly write R and press enter key, and then write this code, and when you press it, enter key, it will generate a plot graph, right? Here the one example is given. So it will represent the faculty wise students in the university. We may define the number of students as a list and the name of the faculty as in the another list, and it will generate a graph in the R software by using the CLI. Okay, then the first argument specifies the data list, while all other arguments have the form name like the values, right? So we use the arguments in the main x axis, xlabs and ylab and name.arg, and in the ylim and the border to specify the main title. After that, in the x-axis you write the labels, and y-axis you write label, and the value you have to display for that bar, and then write the range of the value to be plot on the y-axis, and you create a border with the color, right? So these are the different options are available in the plotting R. So this is the one example, it is given here. Okay, observe that the long commands, when we press enter key before the command is completed, R issues the plus prompt until we complete the command, and why it is the default graph does not have the grid lines as can be seen in this figure. Okay. So this is a bar chart produce the R, right, and the histogram produced in the R. After that, the next one is the seventh number point. It is rational plan. So what is the use of the rational plan in the people working in the different areas, right? In the construction field or the engineering or the services and the consulting services. After that, in the business or they develop the business softwares, right? So software developer usually work on that project that is having the constraints of the time, resource, and the budget, right? So any delay in the completions of the project, it is increase the cost of that project, right? So it is having the constraints of the time, resources, and the budget, right? So for that, the sum of the point, the time to manage this kind of project, we need to prepare, maintain, and follow well defined plan. So such a plan helps us to complete the project as in the proper schedule, on the time, and within the budget. For that, we use this rational plan. So it is one such open source software. It is available on the Ubuntu operating system, Ubuntu Software Center. You directly just write the rational plan and download it. Okay, so this rational plan, it is designed to assist the project manager in the preparing, maintaining, and following the well-defined project plan, and it assists the project manager throughout the life cycle of their projects. And it comprises three different desktop products, right? That are the rational plan for single, rational plan for multiple, and rational plan for viewer. And the last one, it is the Skype. It is very useful, right? And various instant messaging services are available, right? And like the Yahoo Messenger, then Facebook Messenger, Google Talk, Rediff, Wall, right, and many others, right? So this is the one very popular instant messaging services, right? And it is completely free of cost. So this services allows the users to communicate with the peers using the video, voice, as well as the text messages, right? We can use the Skype to place phone call also, right? To recipient on the traditional telephone network also. Okay, then the calls to be landline telephones or the mobile phones are charged by using the debit based on the user account system, while calls to be other users within the Skype services are completely free of cost, right? When you call with the Skype, then it is completely free. So it also provides the additional features like the file transferring, and you can transfer the files as well as the video conferencing. Nowadays video conferencing softwares and the tools are and applications are very popular nowadays, right? So this is the one of them. Okay, so this is the last point. It is Skype, right? And extremely popular and completely free of cost. And in the Ubuntu operating system, it is completely free available and pre-install available in the Ubuntu operating system. Okay, so this is the end of chapter. Thank you very much.